It is incredibly hot here. I don't know what it's like in Batavia for you, James, but I have had the air conditioner on at like full blast for a solid 10 minutes, and it is still burning in here. Now, it was a very nice day out, so of course I spent it in the air conditioning of the movies. I saw 2 films today. I saw Cowboys versus Aliens and Crazy Stupid Love. Now, of the 2, I really enjoyed one better than the other. So I'll start with the first one that I saw, Cowboys vs. Aliens. Has really cool elements of a Western in it with a touch of sci-fi. Unfortunately, while some of the Western elements are really cool and fairly well done, the sci-fi elements just really don't work. There's some odd stuff that I'd like to mention here, but I can't without spoiling a few major points in the movie. But just about any time that they try and do something supernatural or alien, the movie feels very, very weak. On the other hand, all the Western stuff is handled well. They steer clear of a lot of cliches, but at the same time, I've gotten a solid fix of really good Westerns lately between the video game Red Dead Redemption and the Coen brothers, not No Country for Old Men. The dude, he's a cowboy with Jason Bourne. What's it called? The big True Grit, which had amazing cinematography. Something this film actually kind of lacked, which was disappointing because these cowboy movies actually really lend themselves to it with the landscapes and everything and the horses. I think it's easy to have great cinematography in a cowboy movie. Not to take anything away from the Coen brothers, but it definitely when you think about it, it's a lot easier than, let's say, a sci-fi movie. You have 3 principal cast members. Mr. James Bond, also known as Daniel Craig, who I liked his voice in this movie. I liked his accent. I liked just about everything about him. His character did have the unfortunate habit of kicking people in the balls a lot, which just is not badass, and he's trying to be a badass character. But otherwise, Daniel Craig did a good job, liked him. Nothing really of note, but he was definitely the best part of the movie. Then you have Harrison Ford, who's kind of a gruff, at times he seems like the anti-hero, but towards the end, he grows into his hero status, as some other famous Harrison Ford characters have done. But, I don't know, Harrison Ford was a little bit kind of stale. I don't know, I feel bad speaking ill of the man because I love him, but it was a role that didn't necessarily need to go to him. I think other people could have outperformed him in it, and I think he was a little boring, and most of his story and his moments, just the character, not even the actor, were some of the lower points in the film. And then there's Olivia Wilde, who's just very hot. She's so very hot, and they don't necessarily show it in this movie, unlike Tron, where it was pretty prevalent, but she did fine with the material that was given to her. That being said, the material was pretty... the one thing that I do really want to call out is, and I know I'm going to call him by the wrong name, Sam Rockwell. It's definitely Sam Rockwell, the kid from Moon, who worked with director Jon Favreau, who of course directed Cowboys and Aliens, on Iron Man 2. I would love to see a third collaboration between them, just doing a straight Western, because I think he had the standout performance, even though it was more of a smaller supporting role, of the movie, and every scene he was in, killed it. He was great, and I want to see more of that actor-director friendship, because it seems to work really well. He was one of the highlights of Iron Man 2. He was the highlight of this movie. Altogether, I would give Cowboys vs. Aliens probably, if I'm being generous, I'd give it a C+, but if I were being really critical, I'd give it like a C-. So it's definitely a solid, I shouldn't use the term solid, it's very much a C-grade film, which is unfortunate. I kind of expected more, and I know you're going to say, how did you expect more from a movie called Cowboys vs. Aliens? But with all the advertisements, and I mean, it's not a goofy movie, it's a serious movie with a goofy name. Still, definitely, I mean, if it appeals to you, go see it. It's by no means a waste of money. It's just not the best movie out there. And just more of an example of 2011 being a kind of a weak film year. On the other hand, it was Crazy Stupid Love, which, and I know I keep stating Bridesmaids, still currently my #1 favorite movie of the summer and of the year overall. But Crazy Stupid Love really gave it a run for its money. Crazy Stupid Love is definitely my #2. It's definitely going to be on my final list of the year. I can pretty much say that with confidence now, because I've seen a lot of what's supposed to be coming out in Oscar season, and it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to fill a list with 10 of those. Close. 6 or 7. 7 or 8. But Crazy Stupid Love was really, really good. I know that you've seen the trailers with the Muse song because it's in every single movie I've gone to see for the past, 3 months now. It's probably a more annoying commercial at this point than the one for Transformers was, and that was 3 minutes long. So I'm just going to roll off from IMDb who the cast of this movie is because it's a pretty solid cast. You got Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Julianne Moore, who's a very hot older lady, Emma Stone, who's a very hot younger lady, Marissa Tomei, Kevin Bacon, Beth Littleford, John Carroll Lynch, and then 2 new performers who I've never seen before, although their IMDb pages do indicate that they have been in some films, so they're not exactly newcomers, but Jonah Bobo, weird name, who is, I don't have it in front of me now, but he's about 13. He plays a 13-year-old character. He's about 13. And Annalee Tipton, who plays a 17-year-old character, and she's a little older than me. She was born in 88, I think it said, which surprised me because she looks young. And even though those 2 performers, Annalee Tipton and Jonah Bobo, were not shown much in the advertisements or were not on the poster or anything like that, they are one of the 3 major storylines in the film. It is about 3 pairs of people, I'm not going to call them couples, and how love, the idea of love, the emotion of love, both affects their lives and interconnects them. Steve Carell and Julianne Moore are a couple who have been divorced. Ryan Gosling comes in as Steve Carell's mentor of sorts, and he forms a relationship with Emma Stone, who has been accused of having very PG-13 relationships and is looking for an R-rated relationship. Jonah Bobo's character, let me see if I can find his name so I can refer to him as such. Jonah Bobo is playing Robbie, who has fallen madly in love with his babysitter, Jessica, portrayed by Annalee Tipton, who herself is in love with Robbie's father, played by Steve Carell. So that's a very interesting crossing ages love triangle. Of course, Steve Carell's character doesn't reciprocate the love of the babysitter. That would be inappropriate. And the film is really well done. It has really quality dialogue. It's witty. It really makes you laugh. But by no means would I label it as a romantic comedy. I think it definitely falls into the category of dramedy. Because it's a fairly dramatic film, you really learn and grow to empathize with these characters. And there's actually a couple of different points. Well, there's many points within the movie where I question, how far along into this am I? Where is this going to end? Not because I'm bored, just because you see various points where the film looks like it's heading towards an end. And then there's even a moment about 20 minutes before the close of the film that you're like, wow, they could end it here. It would be a very different movie. But it would also be so effective, and I want to do an experiment. I want to sit someone down who did not see it in theaters and just show them that 90% of the film without the final 15-20 minutes and see how they react. Because I mean, with the exception of not tying up a couple of elements, it's an ending within itself. But into the performances, Ryan Gosling is hysterical. He's really funny, and it's not like that laugh out loud humor, but it's very I say situational or observational or something like that. That sounds like a stand-up routine. It's just he's quippy. It's a lot of one-liners, and there's some physical stuff between him and Steve Carell, a lot of face slapping, as I just indicated. But he's proven himself really, really funny. Steve Carell is pitch perfect in his role. He plays it so well. I think one of the problems with Steve Carell, and it's a problem I run into with Mila Kunis, who plays Meg on Family Guy, is their voice that they use in all of their work is consistent. They don't change their voice at all. So Steve Carell, whenever I see him on screen, I just need to do that tiny, tiny bit of separation. Michael Scott is not Steve Carell. Steve Carell is not Michael Scott. One's a character, one's an actor. Same thing with Mila Kunis. Any role she's in, it's just there's these momentary flashes of Meg in there, and it's weird, but I'm not complaining. I mean, that's just he just does a great job. Julianne Moore gets a little bit shafted in this movie because there's these 3 major relationships, and Steve Carell, I think, not because of his acting, but the way his character is written, definitely carries the relationship between the characters Cal and Emily more so than the other 2 male actors carry theirs. I know that's confusing. With the Gosling and Stone relationship, it's a fairly even split. With the Jonah Bobo, Annalee Tipton one, it's a fairly even split. But with the Carell Moore one, it definitely feels like Steve Carell is getting more screen time, getting more dialogue. And in the end, it is really his movie. Although it focuses on three couples, he is the catalyst. He's the focus of it all. I don't want to give anything away because there's a great twist at the end. I think that the entire supporting cast is really good. I loved the couple of moments that John Carroll Lynch's character had. Kevin Bacon's in a couple scenes, just a couple. He's not actually in the movie all that much, and he's Kevin Bacon. He's great. And then Marissa Tomei is really, really hot. She's like 38, 39. Oh my god, she's incredibly hot. She's oh Jesus, wow. But no, I'm just really interested in seeing where the two young actors from this film go, because this could definitely be a star maker. I'm interested in seeing Ryan Gosling go further into comedy, and Steve Carell's career is just, to imagine that he was almost a complete unknown just, half a decade ago when he was doing 40-Year-Old Virgin. It's really staggering how much success this guy has had off of really genuine, sheer comedic talent. He's wonderful, and I can't wait to see the next film that he is a major role in. I'm really drawn to Steve Carell. Oh, that sounds like I'm attracted to him. I'm not attracted to Steve Carell. Sorry, Steve. I know a bunch of people that have met him. He's from my cousin's hometown. He lives like 3 or 4 towns over than me. I want to meet him badly. Okay, well, this is drawn on. But I gave the other one a rank, so I'll assign this one a rank. I can't tell if my final rank is A or A minus, and mind you, there is an A plus. I would not say it's an A plus. Low A, high A minus, whatever you want to call that. Call it like a 93. And it's long. It is a long movie, so prepare. Get your bathrooming and your popcorning out of the way, because you're not going to want to get up in the middle of it. You will inadvertently miss something. Who else? Let me scroll down. There's someone else that Lisa Lapria is in the film. She was also from the very short-lived Fox show called Traffic Light, which you should check out. It's on Hulu and Mega Video and all over the internet. And she had a couple scenes. She was really good. And Traffic Light was really good. It's too bad they got canceled. Like I said, I went on far too long. Go see Crazy Stupid Love. It was awesome.